Today we're gonna fix a leak or two. Alright, so today we're gonna fix a couple leaks. So my original plan was I was gonna replace all 5 of these ball valves. All 5 of them are leaking like you would not believe, and they all have a little bit trouble kind of holding and doing what they need to do. I was gonna replace all 5 of them, and then that way we can service, because these 2 compressors are more than likely broken. They're kaput. But anyway, so can't do that because I'm trying to pump it down and it won't ever pump down. There's something that's slipping through. So typically you can kind of get it to work with a bare minimum, but it is way too aggressive. What I would have to do is I would actually have to remove the refrigerant all out of this entire system, put it in bullet cylinders or put it into the other system, and we would need more people. We would need more recovery machines. And we would also it would cost a lot of money to do, and our customer wants us to try to repair the leak with a less invasive technique. So we're going to use these retrofit leak caps today. So I'm just going to talk about them for a minute, and yeah, we'll get to it. So I have 2 of them. So right here I have this Keep Right refrigerant cap, okay? Over here, Keep Right, and that's part number 593095700, and that's for a 3/4 to 1/8. And then I have another Keep Right one up. Actually, I have another Keep Right one over here, which is 1/4 through 5/8, but they didn't put the part number on here for whatever reason. But so Keep Right has their own leak retrofits, and then we have over here a Muller ball valve one. Right here, Ball Master, it's Muller. Let me get this out for you. We have this one right there, which is A18351, and then I think we have another one in there, a larger one, right in here too. So we have, you see, we have a couple of them over here. No, so we only have those 351s for all of them. But so we have those, and then we have some of those Keep Right ones. And so the reason I mention this is that not every single valve company will have their own specific retrofit caps with maybe their own specific instructions. I just wanted to mention that and also give you some part numbers so you can check at your local, supply house if you need this. Alrighty, so as you can see, this is the bulletin for Muller Refrigeration retrofit ball valve caps. This is the bulletin, and it gives you part numbers, sizes, and their, what they're for. And then up here it gives you basic instructions, which is remove the open cap, check the retrofit assembly with the white gasket, hand tight it onto the valve, tighten it with a wrench. Retrofit cap a 1/4 turn. Tighten the retrofit cap a 1/4 turn past hand tight. Confirm free movement of the retrofit cap at the top. So that's just how you do it, and we'll get to it. One thing I would recommend is you have to make sure. So I made an assumption that this valve was the same brand as this valve. It's not. So this one's actually a Muller. This one is a Keep Right. So is that what it's called? Keep Right. Yep. So fortunately I have a size for that one that was on my truck, and so that's not actually the one I'm super concerned with, but we're gonna get to that one now. So you can see that that's leaking a little bit of liquid. So I personally squeeze in just a touch of leak lock, because, so again, some of the old timers that I work with, they basically say that these caps should never come off ever in their life. And so you see that's leaking there, and threw this on. So they basically said, they should never come off at all, ever. And I've even known some of them that have actually Loctited it. They claim that, the Loctite is from the manufacturer or whatever, and I haven't found that. And I'm just telling you what I am personally finding. So, they have told me and I've heard this, I'm telling you this so you know my sources. It's just old-timer knowledge, okay? Not manufacturing specs or anything. But basically they said that if you take this off too many times, it ruins the seal. So leak lock is not like Nylog, okay? Nylog, you can put Nylog on everything and there's like no repercussions. All it does is positively help you. Leak lock is not the same, okay? It kind of bonds, holds it in much more, you know, solid. Like, this is gonna be a pain for someone to get off. And with really breakable copper, you don't want to necessarily leak lock everything that, you know, you don't want to necessarily leak lock everything, okay? But, so, that's pretty snug. Pretty good to go. Gonna have to spray some soapy bubbles on it. Make sure there's no refrigerant coming out. Then we're also gonna have to watch it, make sure no liquid starts dripping or nothing. Oh, well, that's right there. We're just gonna spray it quick. I'm not seeing any frost on it anymore, so I'm pretty sure that that one's fine. Yep, no bubbles or nothing. Also spray the top, right there where the actual area is to turn the valve on and off. Nothing, no bubbles, good to go. Now, I just wanted to also mention that so even though the directions said hand tight it, then give it a quarter turn, I mean, that's great in theory, but so listen, you can even hear this one going. I'll spray on it, look at that. See how it just sprays straight up? That thing's going nuts. So I'd say that's why this rack, part of the reason this rack went flat. So what was I getting at? Oh yeah, in real life, you're probably going to be putting these retrofit caps on something that's so old that you're not going to be able to hand tight it adequately. So you're going to have to, you know, you're going to actually have to do the whole, like, tighten it more than just hand tight. You want to snug it up. You don't want to go crazy. You don't want to tighten the heck out of it, but you want to snug it up nice and good to where it's adequate. And like I said, a little bit of leak lock, in my opinion. Now, there are probably somebody that's screaming at this is, you got brass, you don't got to put leak lock on it. Yeah, well, yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry. You know, my experience, it works better. So, keeps it tight, keeps it on there. So, that's what we'll do. I'll put it on there. Well, there's already a little bit of leak lock on those threads because I tried putting a slightly larger cap on there that didn't quite fit. I got the right size now. I'll put that on there right now. You can see that right now. It's blowing out the bottom. We'll screw this on. And yeah, I got a posit to do it though. So another way that helps is to actually use like a smaller size wrench. That way you don't crush the heck out of it. Oh. Go in there, tighten this guy up. So, scored some soapy bubbles on it. The Big Blue. As always, Big Blue micro leak detector. Nothing. So that's good to go. So that was just blowing right out of there. Part of the issue is these little holes. Actually, these ones don't have it. These ones are somewhat okay. But part of the issue is with some of these caps, let's see if I can find one with it. You have little holes in the side of them. Over here on these ones. Right here. You can see right there. There's a little hole. Of course, the pipe's in the way. Let's see if I can get it right there. There's a little hole in that cap. See right there? And I think it's meant to be like a pressure release or something. And it will blow refrigerant out that little hole. And it causes all kinds of different issues. Also, I just wanted to mention too, I got this video on, and you see that little trough there? You want to try to put that on your actual, on the stem to turn the valve, obviously. So anyway, we're going to do two more. Also, I've let this whole thing pump down as much as I could, because if I was going to do this at 180, you know, discharge, I would be blowing refrigerant out like you would not believe. Like, these things were leaked out a whole rack with, you know, with the covers on as tight as they could go. So that's kind of why I'm going through this. So just to show you, is I have them all valved off at the suctions. And I pulled out all the refrigerant from the discharge side, put it over into this rack over here, and then I ball valved it off at the discharge as well. So just wanted to show that. So as I was sucking it out of the discharge, I would suck this little bit of suction right here through the compressor, out through there, high pressure goes to low, hooked it up to the 20 psi suction group over here, fed that high 180 to the low suction group over there with my gauges, and that's how I got it down to about 30 psi, which is allowing me to do this changeover. But as I mentioned earlier, it would not pump down any lower, so I couldn't change out the actual valves like I planned on doing. Put that on there. We're going to leak check it. Also, another thing worth mentioning, I changed every single one of these straighter cores because almost all of them were leaking, and I put brand new caps on them. That's going to help too. This rack was literally hemorrhaging refrigerant. You know, I think what happens is, you know, the store owner keeps saying, oh, we're going to change it out, we're going to change it out. I don't want to put money in it, I don't want to put money in it, and just kind of keeps, you know, pushing it off, but you can see no bubbles, looking all right, so we'll keep moving. Also, just a little bit more information for you as I'm going through this. I'm just thinking of things to tell you. So, like, those of you who've heard of Nylog versus leak lock. Leak lock, okay, these caps will never come off again, okay? You see how it has the little, you know, spout at the top, the little thing that you can, little flat part that you can turn, little nut at the top, right? These are never made to come off. You can turn this, open and close this from the top, okay? If you have something that's gonna go into your system, like a flare nut, okay, that the leak lock has a chance of going into your system, do not use leak lock. Either use just brass, as the instructions recommend, or use Nylog. Alright, you also, I'm just interjecting this, you can also use refrigerant oil. So especially for more like systems that are more fickle, like smaller systems that, like, you know, you really can't get Nylog in it, you really can't get leak lock in it. Refrigerant oil, it's always better, especially with these critical components, these mating components that are going to have access into the system. It's better to use nothing at all. I just wanted to interject this in there. Nylog is better. Some companies, like I mentioned, do actually have like so much Nylog is allowed into it, because Nylog will dissolve with certain kinds of refrigerant and kind of act as a viscous type of oil. But like I said, refrigerant oil or brass for flare fittings is preferable. And if you have to, you can use Nylog depending on if the manufacturer says you can. Leak lock is not acceptable. I've talked to a lot of guys, especially mini split like technicians that do more residential. These guys are using leak lock on mini split flares. Do not do that unless you want your mini split system to be destroyed and your warranty to be voided. Anyway, let's get back to it. Not use leak lock for that. Nylog is this other solution over here. I just want to be clear on that. Right here, Nylog Blue gasket and thread sealant. This is great stuff. If you're going to be opening stuff up and closing it, this is okay to use. Some manufacturers even say it's okay to get, you know, XYZ amount in the system or whatever. Leak lock is not okay to get in the system. Only for things that it's going to be closed for like 20 years. You're never going to see it again, or you're never going to open it again. Type of applications. Okay, I mean, you could also potentially use it, for instance, like right here, I could use it for the oil lines if I wanted, or I could Nylog it. For instance, if you have a really bad, like, you can even use it on, for instance, right there. If I took off that nut right there, that sealing nut, and I put leak lock on it and I popped it in there, that'd be completely fine to do. It's going to make it really, really, really difficult for the next person to take it off. So you have to use it wisely, because, for instance, you shouldn't be using leak lock on rack components that look like that. Okay, you see right there the rust every which way, all right there, and then look at that right there. Okay, you see all that rust? Okay, like if you have a valve that is rusted like crazy and it's leaking, you know, you got to do what you got to do at 2 in the morning, but try to get a retrofit cap. Don't just leak lock it, because you don't want to be the guy that causes someone to break, you know, that breaks a valve off a header or something because you put leak lock on it. So just want to show you the finished product quick, so you can see pretty much every single ball valve that I could and that I had on my truck. The cap on them was replaced, so I did like maybe 10, 12 caps in all. This is going to make a huge difference on the rack. Now I know a question that naturally arises from this: how long will this last? Well, the truth is, I've seen stores do, the company I work for does something called a leak reduction, where they replace all these caps. They also do a bunch of other stuff like replace the floats and EPRs, all kinds of stuff. But basically, if you replace all these caps, I've known stores that had leak reduction 6, 7 years ago that still their caps are not leaking. So, you know, they can last quite a while. So you can turn, you know, a junk ball valve into basically the end of the life of the rack. But anyway, I put one there, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, one down there, so 6. I saw the one back there. I'm gonna put on a couple more too. I also replaced every single one of those, you know, straighter core caps, or all those straighter cores. So we're just doing, you know, we're just tightening up this rack today. So one more thing I wanted to mention at the end of this is, so, you know, you can use leak lock on those retrofit caps, you can use Loctite on those retrofit caps, or you can do nothing. Those are the 3 ways I've had it presented to me. I've never personally used Loctite, because I've known technicians that have actually just, they're like, oh, this is really stuck on there, let me get a bigger wrench, and I've just wrenched it off even though the Loctite has been on there. While I was making this video, I took off the cover on a valve, and it was leaking so profusely, there was literally a jet of liquid jutting out. I took a cap, slammed it on there, no leak lock or nothing, worked just fine. So I'm just saying, all 3 approaches I think are acceptable. Do what you feel like you should do. Listen to your old timers, listen to your lead techs, and of course always listen to the manufacturer and make your own decisions as a technician. You need to just look at what works. Remember, the goal is what works, what repairs your system. I don't care if, you know, old timers say it, manufacturers say it. The goal is repaired system, happy customer, obey the law, you know, make some money, do something positive, go home. Okay, like that's just it. So achieve that goal however you do it. Use your wisdom, use your knowledge, and get to it. Anyway, I'm going to end it here because I think I've gone a little bit overboard explaining how a cap works. I hope you learned a thing or two about a thing or two. Please let me know below how your experience with them. What do you do? Do you leak lock? Do you Loctite? Do you just brass? What do you do? And that's how you do it. Have a good one.